Welcome to my podcast. In the first episode, I'm going to talk about the Korean food. I'm Korean and I have lived in abroad for years, so having lived abroad, sometimes I face with homesick. It's not because I missed my friends and family, but mostly because of the food. There are quite a lot of Korean restaurants all over the world, also in the Netherlands, but there are some food that I can't really find outside of the Korea. You probably already know some Korean food, such as kimchi or Korean barbecue, because those are really well known worldwide, so you can easily find those anywhere. But today, I want to tell you what is my favorite Yashik dishes. Yashik literally means late night food. So in Korea, especially if you look at Seoul, there are 9 million people living in the city. So it's really busy and a lot of things are changing so quickly in Seoul. So after a tough day, we like to have some food and drinks. And that's basically called Yashik. So we like to have some food and drinks after our long day at work. And since I'm used to this culture, I was craving for the food when I'm in the Netherlands. Before I start introducing my favorite Yashik dishes, I just wanted to point out that those food can be unusual for you because you couldn't find it in the Netherlands, but that doesn't mean that Korean people are weird. So bear in mind and let's get started. So the first one is Dakbal. Dakbal is chicken feet, and you can find chicken feet in some other countries as well, but Korean chicken feet is somehow different. The feet are cooked and seasoned with red pepper paste, so it's gonna be spicy. You know, Korean food is known for spicy food, so if you like spiciness, you will find Dakbal really tasty. But don't worry if you can't handle the spiciness because we have a side dish, Jokbal. Jokbal is rice bowl, so the rice is gonna be seasoned with sesame oil, soy sauce, and seaweed. So it has a rich flavor and it's just so great. When you have Dakbal and if you find it so spicy, if you just have a bite of rice bowl, the flavor of sesame oil is gonna cleanse your mouth, so you will be ready to eat spicy Dakbal again. A lot of people like to eat Dakbal with soju, so the combination of Dakbal, Jokbal, and soju is just so great. My next favorite dish is Jokbal, which is pig's feet. So Jokbal is made up of boiled pig's troller cooked with leeks, soy sauce, ginger, sugar, and rice wine. It's gonna be cooked for hours until they totally absorb the flavors and they are soft, shiny, and glazed with the meat falling off the bone. I heard from a lot of Western people that pork is considered as dry and overcooked meat, but if you ever taste Jokbal, you will just forget about it because the meat inside is very soft and the outside the skin is glazed and chewy, so it's just really good. So how to eat it? First, you grab a piece of lettuce and then you wrap a slice of Jokbal in the lettuce. You can also add your choice of sauces, veggies, but what I recommend is, since Jokbal is kinda savory and salty, if you add some different acid flavors such as kimchi, it can kinda balance it out, so it's gonna be more tasty. What I thought when I having Jokbal, it tastes kinda similar to one of German cuisines, the roasted ham, which is okay. For all the German speakers, don't laugh about my pronunciation. I can't pronounce it, but according to Wikipedia, it's called Schweigsam. I hope you will understand what I mean. So if you liked that, the Schweigsam, you will also like Jokbal. So the last one I want to talk about is Gopchang, which is intestines. I mean, it's kind of weird to talk about this word because it's intestines. But since you have it, you will just forget about the word. But I'm not gonna use the word intestines because you're gonna be offended. So I will use the Korean word gopchang. Um, there are multiple ways that you can taste gopchang. You can have stir-fried gopchang, or there is also gopchang stew. But my favorite way to have gopchang is grilled gopchang. So it's kind of similar way when you eat Korean barbecue. So you will sit at a round table with a grill in the middle, and you will be served a dish of seasoned grilled gopchang ready to be cooked up. And when it comes to the texture, it's fatty inside, so the flavor comes rushing in into your mouth, and you will feel the tender texture from the fat, but it's very chewy outside. So it's kind of mixed of chewy and tender, and it's very interesting. um, and I promise, just the smell of gopchang will make you wanna drink soju because as I said, it's fatty. So soju is like gonna cleanse your mouth. So whenever you feel greasy or fatty, if you just have a glass of soju, it will be cleansed. One thing you have to bear in mind is you have to go to a good gopchang restaurant because otherwise, if the intestines smells, it's not gonna be good. You know what I mean? So that's just the one thing you have to be careful, but otherwise, gopchang is so great. So those are my top three Korean late night food. And one thing I wanted to mention is that like there are like chicken feet and pig feet. So it kind of looks like Korean people like to eat animals' feet, but it's not true. It's just chicken feet and pig feet. So just keep in mind. Anyway, thank you for listening and comment down below what you think about this podcast. And if you have ever tasted the food that I listed today, also comment down below and I will come back next week. Bye.